The letter O is significant. The end is near. So now they're making desperate moves. Uh-oh. Let's see what else. Spiritual court is now in session. All right. All right, Holy Spirit, tell me more. Tell me about this end is near. And they're making desperate moves. All right, somebody has a pink car. And look, we got pink right here with this O. Tell me more. They robbed you. These years are significant. Somebody was born in one of these years or something happened in one of these years. All right, so this is somebody that robbed you somehow. Tell me more. So now with the end being near and then making desperate moves, it's like they don't want to get caught. They don't want to have to serve time. Six of Swords. Yeah, they could be trying to, you know, move away, get away, go on the run. All right, we have here a college graduate that is significant. This could be you or somebody involved. Tell me more about they robbed you. AI images or videos. Okay, so they want to get you out of the way. They think that you know too much. All right, you know about something that they stole. This could be, you know, what always comes out, the inheritance. We're gonna see if that comes out. But that's what they took here, and you know this information. They want to get rid of you with the AI images and videos. They could be trying to like maybe just fabricate or doctor some type of information regarding what they stole. And it says here a warrant to have all of their devices seized and searched. So look at that, AI images and videos. There's definitely something going on with their devices and them you know, trying to like distort something, or like I said, like fabricate something or doctor something. Tell me more. Offshore accounts frozen for investigation, and the Eight of Swords is going to prison. So yeah, these people are going to prison. They're under investigation. They already have their devices. All right, they froze their accounts that they have offshore. Tell me more. Spirit is saying this is going to be a win-win situation for you with whatever's going on with this case. Tell me more. They stole your mail. Okay, so they stole your mail as well. This could be them not wanting you to receive some type of notification of what they did, you know, trying to hide something. That's, or whatever they was doing, they stole your mail, and that's also a charge. It says here, straw purchase. Somebody bought a Pum Pum for someone who cannot legally have one. Someone who's a felon. So this person that bought this Pum Pum, they could be going to prison or be on house arrest or probation. All right. Tell me more. These years are significant. Somebody was born between 1946 and 1964. It says here your sibling's male friend is significant. Tell me more. Witness protection program. So for some of y'all, they're going to put you in the witness protection program. I don't know if you want to be in that, but for some of y'all, you need it because this is a big case and you need to be protected. All right. Again, they don't want you to. Wow. This is the card I was talking about. Look, it came back out again. They don't want you to testify. They don't want you to say something. They feel like you know too much. So they want to get you out of the way. All right. They don't want you to be able to go to court and testify and say what you know. All right. That's what we have here. Witness protection program. Tell me more. Six of Swords. So again, Six of Swords is like moving on. All right. So I feel like you're going to be moving on from this situation. And you're going to be winning, all right? Moving on, winning the war here, the battle that they put you in since they wanted to steal from you, all right? Again, it's a win-win situation. Tell me more. A rental car is significant. I was thinking that when I saw the pink cars, I was like, I know some people are, you know, they flashy, girly, and whatever, and they have pink cars. But the first thing that came to mind was that's like a rental. It was not somebody's like official cars, like a rental, like that pink car. So confirmation with rental car. And it says here somebody that has friends with benefits. All right. So somebody that you could be messing around with that friends with benefits energy. Okay. Or somebody messes around with them and somebody got a pink rental. Or just a rental car. Tell me more. A karmic spouse. A male family member. So we got a male family member. We got your siblings, friend. So this could be who this is. All right. We have here somebody's karmic spouse and a good gentleman. So this good gentleman with this lion, somebody could be a Leo. And then with the cane, somebody could walk with a cane. Tell me more. They lied, and they said that you gave them the power of attorney over you. So they said that you was incapable, you know, to handle money or handle whatever it is that they stole from you. Yeah, now they're scared because of this shit that they did here, and they're going to get caught up for this. All right, look, their cousin, not your cousin, somebody's cousin is involved in this. Wow. Yo, I just said somebody that uses a cane. You cannot make this up. Look at the cane right there. Yes. Somebody that uses the cane. It could be somebody's grandparent. Look how this card is right there, like sticking out. Somebody's grandparent. The number 5 could be significant. A Taurus, an Aries. Right? Aries is May? No. Gemini. All right. An Aries could be significant. Aries is April. Taurus or a Gemini could be significant. Or Leo, like I said, with the lion here. All right. But yes, they use a cane. Wow. All right. Let's see what else. They're trying to incorporate you in their crimes. Yeah, that's not happening. And then we have here your grandparent. All right. So one of your grandparents passed away. And like I said, they took something that was left for you. And Spirit is saying that you shall remain untouched. Absolutely. You are protected. That's why, again, they cannot get you out of the way because you are protected. All right. You walk outside, you know, safe. You good. Like, you know, you're not stressing nothing because you know that you're protected. So this is your confirmation that, yes, you are protected. You will remain untouched. All right. Nobody going to touch you and nobody going to do nothing to you. Period. Okay. Let them try. They're gonna learn that God is real, and they're gonna learn what divine intervention is because God do not play about you. All right, so let's keep going. Let's see what we get with this pile of cards. All right, Holy Spirit. Look at this one. This an Acura. All right. Look, frozen accounts. Again, double confirmation. Frozen accounts. A neighbor is significant. Somebody's neighbor. Tell me more, Holy Spirit. Bank fraud charge. That's what we got of this, you know, shit going on here. Frozen accounts, warrants. They definitely stole. They got a power of attorney over you. And they did some type of fraud as well. We have here, gave anonymous tips to help you. Last time this came out, it was the hitman. All right. So this could be the same thing. The hitman or somebody else. But they gave an anonymous tip to help you out. Because they know the truth. And they know what these people did. And they don't want no problems. And then with the hitman, it came out that they had to change of heart. I feel like your spirit team, your ancestors, the Most High, you know, they showed them something. I don't know. But the person changed, you know, I just kept saying change of heart. So the hitman had to change of heart. They didn't want to do it no more. Look, they're guilty. All right. The ringleader is guilty. There's a ringleader here. It says here, somebody that was born between 1965 to 1980 is significant. And they're guilty of their crimes. 7 of Swords, stealing. They were scamming, stealing, being strategic, all right? Underhanded behavior. That's what they're guilty of. And we have here a pyramid scheme. So, yeah, somebody stole from somebody. For some of y'all, it could be you. You know, it's like there's different things that I see here, different charges. All right, so that's one charge, the pyramid scheme. The straw purchase, that's another charge for somebody else. The bank fraud charge, that's another one. The frozen accounts, you know, like whatever they stole, the power of attorney, like it's different charges. So that's one particular charge here, the pyramid scheme. Like, I don't know if it was you that they got like that, like, you know, they promised you some type of money, you know, they said it was going to be a good investment or something like that, and it just didn't go like what you was expecting. That could be what they did to you, or they're doing that to people, and they're going to get caught up for that because they're already on the investigation. Oh, look at this. They're living off of your inheritance. You see, I knew that there was something that they stole here. They're living off of your inheritance. Tell me more. So this is how they got this inheritance. They said that you was mentally unstable. You was incompetent. You wasn't going to be able to handle that money. Yeah, look, fraud and identity theft. Wow. And then they could have been trying to get you locked up. Right? To get you out the way. Because again, it says right here, they're trying to incorporate you in their crime. They wanted to like, what is that, railroad? They wanted to like railroad you, you know? You take whatever these charges are. This is really fucking crazy. Like you don't do none of this shit. So I don't know how they was planning to do this shit. All right, again, I guess with the fraud and identity theft, you see fraud and fraud, they was using your identity. So they was trying, to make it look like it was you doing these things, and they're under investigation. So it's like the feds are going to do their job and see that you have nothing to do with this. All right, let's see what else. Oh my goodness. Anything else, Holy Spirit? Tell me more about this inheritance. We saw somebody's grandparents, all right? So that could be who left it. A grandma or a grandpa. With the inheritance, it says here that it's all downhill from here. All right? So downhill is a good thing for the collective, like when you're on a bike and you're going downhill, it's like it gets easier. You're not going up the hill. So Spirit is letting you know that it's going to get easier from here, okay? Things are going to come to light. They're going to get charged. And you're going to get your inheritance and more, okay? Because you're going to sue these people. Tell me more. You shattered a family legacy built on lies, okay? So, yeah, they was living off of your inheritance. This family legacy was built on lies, on stealing, on scamming. Tell me more. A settlement check for you. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a settlement check because of what they stole from you, this inheritance. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful because it came out before that Spirit says to talk to your lawyer. Don't settle for whatever they're trying to give you because you could get so much more. All right. And we have here a Mason relative. So this came out yesterday that somebody's relative is a Mason. All right. Let's see what else. All right, Holy Spirit, tell me more about this energy here, this Mason, this karmic family that did all this. Social media. Water. Look how this phone looks. Look, remember we saw that they have a warrant for the devices? This is given like maybe they didn't want a particular device to get investigated and they threw it in the water, right? Because it looks all beat up. Facebook could be significant, but that's what that looks like. Like they didn't want maybe for the feds to get that phone and they threw it in the water. That's what just came to mind right now. Let's see what else. Tell me more, Holy Spirit, about this energy. Yeah, fraud. The people that's committing fraud. All right, we have here thug. They don't want to get locked up. So they for some of y'all, that's what they did. They got rid of some type of phone in the water. Maybe they didn't want it to trace back to them or some shit. We have here the Tower reverse and unbothered. So yeah, they don't want something. The Tower is an unexpected change, a crisis, an upheaval in the upright. And the reverse is like trying to avoid some type of crisis, upheaval, exposure, whatever. That's why that's for some of y'all. They got rid of that phone in the water because they didn't want something to come to light about the fraud and what they was doing. Again, they're making desperate moves. So I guess they felt like, oh my God, I need to just throw it in the water. I don't know what else to do. That shit is tracking my location. What is that? What is it connected to again? I want to say satellite. Is it satellite? That's what I'm getting. Like, they just felt like they need to just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Throw it in the water, in the river somewhere. Somebody did that with a phone so that they could remain unbothered. And what I'm getting to is that they was like in disguise. Okay? Like, they had like this, shades on with a scarf or with a hat so that people don't see them doing this. All right. Let's see what else. So maybe one of them, right? I'm still getting messages. One of them, they took their phones and then they was like, yo, they took my phone. They told the other one, and the other one started freaking out. They didn't know what else to do, so they threw it in the water. They threw it in the river or some shit. All right, tell me more. What else? Wait, that's too many. Yeah, they're under pressure. That's definitely the energy I'm getting too. They're feeling like that. That's what they just threw. They just threw that shit in the water. Anything else from here? Seven of Swords. Okay, again, the card about stealing, scheming, being strategic. Look, I just said too that somebody was like wearing, like, you know, like trying to cover themselves, wearing a mask. We have here. What about the Seven of Swords? Secrets. All right, so somebody wants to keep it a secret that they be doing this, that they be scamming and stealing from people. Yeah, we have here legal. Okay, because they don't want to get locked up. They do not want that shit to come back to them. Look, this is, you cannot make this up. This is definitely something about somebody's grandparents. It says here deaf and grandparent. They do not want the truth to come out about what they did, what they stole, which was this, what was left to you by your grandmother or your grandfather, or both. They left you something, money, a house, whatever. They took that shit. And they're scared now because they do not want the truth to come out because they know that they're going to get locked up. Wow. So you see this message keeps coming out in like so many different ways. I pull these cards, it comes out like this. I pull these cards, it comes out like that. So that's definitely what Spirit wants you to know. Let's see what else comes out. Let me pull another pile of cards. So yeah, these people are scared. They better be scared. Tell me more, Holy Spirit. A hookup. Tell me more. This could be somebody hooked up with someone, or hook up as in they got together. Yeah, they hooked up like to talk, because look, going on the run. And I said they're not gonna be able to do that. Somebody's feeling like with the Six of Swords, somebody was feeling like going on the run, like running from this. So they hooked up with someone like, yo, you know, if I was to run, can you help me or some shit? I don't know, to figure it out. All right, let's see what else. This could be your sister, sister-in-law. That is significant. Sister-in-law, half-sister, step-sister. Yeah, the person keeping secrets. The person keeping secrets is planning to run. This is so funny. They're planning to go on the run. Oh my God, you cannot make this up. A road trip. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, this karmic is planning to go on the run with a road trip, and they're trying to go with somebody. They're talking about this with somebody, with this hookup. It was like they had a meeting, like, yo, if I was to go on the run, you know, you think I'll make it or some shit? Like, I don't know, something here about like a collaboration. All right, this could be somebody that is in a financial and sexual connection. All right, there's no emotions here. So again, if it's your sister-in-law, you know, like your bro, he don't even love her. You know, it's just only financial, all right, and sexual. There's no love here. That's for somebody. All right, so let's see. What else, Holy Spirit? New moon plotting. Oh, we got the new moon coming up on the 17th, on Friday. So they're doing voodoo. That shit ain't gonna work. You are protected. Look, we got brother and brother-in-law, and then we got sister-in-law. So again, your brother and their wife, or your sister and her husband, okay? A private investigator is following you, collective, okay? So there's a private investigator calling you. Calling you. How are they gonna call you? They know your number? I just said calling you, so somebody gonna call you. There's a private investigator following you, and they defeated themselves, okay? So this, let's see why this person is following you. Yo, look, I just said calling you and we got communication. Wow. Let me see why they're following, what comes out with that. Why is a private investigator following the collective? So this is telling me that the karmic could be paying this private investigator to stalk you or something, to get some type of information. It's a couple, a king of cups. I'm gonna put it back. But we got a king of cups reverse, an empress, a king of pentacles reverse. Wait, and the devil. I think that was meant to come out. Look, secrecy again. Yo, we got three karmics coming out right here. I thought it was too many cards, but look, we got three karmics. This is not a coincidence. All right, they're watching you. This is giving me the people that are scared. You saw how I just opened it up to the Justice card? Okay, so tell us, Holy Spirit. Tell us about this private investigator. Yup, they're scared. You cannot make this up. Look at this person scared looking over their shoulder. This is somebody that is, like it says it here, it doesn't really, it says weary. But there's other cards that it's talking about them being paranoid. All right, it says weary here, you know, pessimism. Trying to have the last stand. All right. Tell me more. Oh, my God, yes. This group of people. Teamwork doesn't always make the dream work. Okay. So they're working together. Okay, because look, Knight of Cups, the offering that they made doesn't work. The Knight of Cups reversed, the offering is not working, is not going through. So that's the voodoo that they're doing. All right. Yeah, look, and there goes the Moon card. Okay, they want to slow you down. They want to keep you stuck. All right, look how it says here, trying one more time. You see, they keep trying to do this shit. And they're going to do it again with the new moon, which, like I said, is on Friday. And that shit ain't going to work. So they're watching you, basically. They're watching you to get information on you. I guess also, you know, with the voodoo that's going on, they want to see if it's how it's affecting you. But definitely what this investigator is watching you for is because they're scared and they're paranoid about these secrets. So maybe they're trying to find dirt on you or some shit, and they're not going to find anything on you. They're not going to find nothing on you to, I don't know, sway, I don't know, this situation to go in their favor, because it's not. Again, it's a win-win situation for you. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. All right. I was feeling drawn to pull some states. Let's see what states come out. Holy Spirit. This could be where they're trying to go on the run. All right. We have here Vermont. Or where they live, where you live. Take it how it resonates. Okay. Arkansas. South Dakota. Nevada. New Hampshire. New Hampshire. I don't know how to say that. I think it's New Hampshire or New Hampshire. Maine. New Mexico. Nebraska. Okay, let me get two more. Louisiana and Utah. Okay, Utah and Louisiana. All right, let's see what else. What else, Holy Spirit? Look, we got bank fraud charge and wire fraud charge. So, yeah, this money that they stole from you, they tried to wire the money somewhere else. They put the property in a trust to hide the assets and seem broke. So, look, there is a property. All right. If it's not a property, it's the money that they took from this inheritance. And they try to hide everything. That's what it's giving. Wire fraud, bank fraud, frozen accounts, you know, offshore accounts. The number 8. A Leo could be significant, or a Virgo. Somebody could be born in the month of July. No, that's August. August, or somebody could be a life path number 8, or their birthday's on the 8th. So they took an oath, a verbal or written blood contract. Okay, one of these people, they took an oath. All right, and it says here, bail denied. Somebody's going to end up staying in prison. One of these people, they're not going to get no bail. Tell me more. It says here, they're living, oh, not they're living. I don't know where I thought I said they're living. They was in the graveyard. Maybe the spirit is trying to say they're living in the damn graveyard. Like, they're always in the fucking graveyard, bippity bopping and shit. I don't know where I saw they're living. They are in the graveyard doing voodoo, okay? They're doing voodoo, all right? Again, it ain't working. Those allegations that they made against you will be proven false. Again, they're trying to get you locked up. They want you to be incorporated in this crime that they did. It has nothing to do with you. All right. Spirit is saying they never saw it coming. Yeah, they never saw this coming. They really thought that they had this whole shit planned out. And they was never going to get caught up for this. All right. But look, their phone is tapped. So the feds is listening to everything. They know what's going to be their next move. They know everything. And oh my God, more confirmation that they're trying to go on the run. And this is a whole nother card talking about going on the run. Like, wow. Okay. Like, these people are not going to be able to run. They're not going to be able to go nowhere. That's it. It's over. It's time to pay up. And look, again, proven innocent. This one says by forensic evidence, fingerprints, whatever. But it's gonna be proven that you are innocent, that you don't have nothing to do with none of this shit. All right, let me pull some names. And then we're gonna close this out. All right, Holy Spirit, who is involved in this? If you see your name here, this is giving you confirmation. There's a message here for you. And if you see the karmic's name here, this is giving you confirmation that the karmic is involved. Okay, let me get two more. I already got, what is this? Is 2 together? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see. Four. One more. Okay, let's see who is involved. All right, so let's start with this. Damaris, Ron, Monique, Gordon, Carlito, Stone, Miles, BB, Malcolm, Banks, Marquise, Tariq, Lamont, Dion, Wesley, Caleb, Bonita, Reese, Akeem, Cheyenne, White, Cannon, Tyona. What is wrong with me today? Tiana. Well, maybe Tyona. I don't know. Tiana. All right. Jack, Tyson, Taveras, Claudia, Denise, Butler, and Angeli. Doris, Judy, Monica, April, Kobe, Wendy, Fraser, Irma, George, Melly, Carly, Ariana, DeAndre, Pineda, Paula, Bronson, Yaelin, Casey, Fleming, Hill, Ceballos, Powell, Jacob, Melly, and I already said Irma, right, and Wendy. Okay. Campbell, Cynthia, Derek, Sebastian, Philip, Tabitha, Madison, Ruby, Logan, Reed, Jackie, Doreno, Samson, Monique, Donson, Christy, Willie, and Lydia. Odalis, Simone, Beverly, Dawn, Kane, Rain, Myers, Chloe, Tara, Warren, Valdez, Danielle, Raymond, Tanya, Tony, and Levy. And then we have here Velez, Jada, Amy, Armani, Sanchez, Cheryl, Sean, Turner, Kia, Valerie, V, Ryan, Michelle, Tamika, Terry, Bell, and White. We have White twice because I saw White came out earlier. So confirmation with that. All right, y'all. So that's what I got here. Hope I was able to bring clarity and confirmation to whoever needed to receive this message. Spiritual court is now adjourned. Peace.